Congratulations, you've made it to October half term. Hi, it's Martin, and that's right, we've reached October half term already. Whoosh, and it has gone. Now, I do know that some of us are going into half term now. Some people are going into half term next week. For some people, it's 1 week. For some people, it's 2 weeks. So, to be honest, October half term, a little bit of a hot mess. In the Seville household, we are now going into half term and it's for 2 weeks. So, hey, lucky us. So I'm going to ask you the same question I ask at every holiday, at every break. How's it going? How's it going? If you remember, over the summer and through September, I encouraged you to deliberately and intentionally think about two things. Personally, how did you want to be this new academic year when it came to your family, and how available you were and how in the moment you were? And also, secondly, how do you want to finish this year strong professionally? So, in terms of family life, what were some of the things that you wanted to work on or slightly improve? These are things like coming home a little bit earlier so you can have a meal, an evening meal with your family, so you can have some quality time with your family, maybe helping with homework, just maybe having some fun time, being there at bedtime for your children, read them a story, sing them a song, whatever that routine is, having some quality time with your partner after they've gone to bed, not feeling so exhausted because you're not working such late hours. For some of you, it was being available and being more in the moment during the evenings, but also during the weekends and any holidays or bank holidays that you have. You know, that kind of in the moment, so that you're not stressing about work, thinking about work, tempted to do work. And for some of you, it was about being more available for school runs. So maybe you're not the main person that does the school runs, either to school or picking up from school, but maybe you wanted to be. Maybe you wanted a little bit more of that connection time at that time. Maybe it was about being more available for assemblies and school events. And by now, I really hope you've gone to the Harvest Festival. You know, if your children are primary or infant age, then, oh man, the Harvest Festival was always one of our favorites. You know, you can't go wrong with Dingle Dangle Scarecrow and his flippy floppy hat, right? We used to sing that. Oh man, we used to sing our hearts out with that one. So there's some great tunes at Harvest Festival, just not to be missed. So for some of you, it was about that. So if you've made some improvements, if you've made some shifts, small stuff, but you're seeing the benefit now, congratulations, well done. Share it in the comments, right? Really seal the deal on that, right? Acknowledge that you've made some small changes and you're reaping the benefits, you and your family. You know, deeper connection with your children, deeper connection with your partner, balance, and being there for your family when maybe in the past you haven't been quite so there. And there's no judgment there, because heck, I have been there. But if you made some changes, then shout about them. Go and inspire all the other parents out there that are struggling with this, and show them that actually what we know is just some simple stuff makes massive differences. So that was the personal side. So again, how's that going? It's really easy to get caught up in the busyness, and then we just go back to the old patterns and routines that we used to have. And so then we end up just working harder and longer and just thinking about work all the time. And so if you really make that deliberate, intentional decision to go, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. How's that been going? And if you didn't make those shifts, if that busyness of life really has got in the way, well, there's no judgment. I'm not interested in what you haven't done over the last couple of months. What I am interested in is, what are you going to do from now? This is why the school holiday is a really good time just to step back and reflect and go, well, how did that go? Right, there are some things here that I want to shift. There are some things I want to improve. And it might just be that's, and I say simple, but I know it's often not easy. But the more you do it, well, that becomes a habit. Just leaving work a little bit earlier. It can make all the difference because, like I said, the compound effect of that is you leave a little early. I don't know what that is for you. 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6, 6:30. But all of a sudden you have an evening. When you're used to working long hours and not having an evening with your family, you suddenly realize how long an evening can be and what connection you can have. And like I said, that leads you to then being able to spend quality time with your family, your children, your partner, having an evening meal, having some fun, having some games, stories, songs, whatever it might be. All of that stems from you getting home a little bit earlier. So it's not just about one thing. This is, all of a sudden, it opens up a whole new world. And okay, maybe you can't do that every day, but what if you started trying to do that 2 or 3 times a week? What difference would that make to you and your family? Now is a really great time to go, enough is enough, right? Look, the busyness did get to me, Martin. You're right. But I have a new intention now. Coming out of this half term, I'm going to start doing, what is it? What is it? You're going to make time for, what is it? And please have one luck on Christmas, because we're now into that end game for the year, and we are heading towards Christmas. And I know some of you are going, no, don't mention the C word. But I'm pretty certain you want to enjoy Christmas. The build up, the run up to Christmas. I'm pretty sure you don't want to be so exhausted and distracted come Christmas Day that you can't enjoy it as much as you know that you could. I compromised so many Christmases in my corporate world for 20 years climbing that corporate ladder. Please don't make the same mistakes. But your Christmas preparations start now. So you just getting a little bit more in control. You getting into a habit of leaving work a little earlier, spending that quality time with your family. You're going to want more of it and more of it. And you're going to build that over the next 2.5 months. So now's a great time to start that, with your family on the personal side. And the second thing I encourage you to look at was, how do you want to finish the year strong professionally? And what does that mean to you? You might be saying, Martin, I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Well, what are the really important things that got to get done? No, not 101 things. They are not all important, no matter what you tell yourself. What are, for example, the top 3 things that between now and the end of the year, you've got to get done? What are the musts? 3 of them. What are the musts? For me, for example, I'm running 2 events. I'm co-hosting with my wife. They're our first events together. It's so exciting. But we're running 2, one online, one in person. So those are 2 things that I'm focusing on this quarter. And the third one is my one-on-one clients. I got some one-on-one clients that are living the dream. They have really made incredible progress, and it is brilliant. And we're just taking it to the next level and enjoying the moment. And I got other clients that they're struggling a little. Some of them are new to me, so they've come to me because they're struggling, and we're working that through. And we're going to make some great progress before the end of the year. And some of them, well, we've been working together for quite some time, but stuff's happened, and it's knocked them a bit. So I got to show up for my clients. Now, there are lots of nuances to those 3 things. There's an awful lot of work that goes into creating events, for example. There's an awful lot of preparation that goes into one-on-ones. But a focus, can I focus on those 3 things? Are those the 3 most important things professionally? Absolutely. Now, does that mean there's not an endless list of other stuff that I can do, could do, should do, probably ought to do? Heck yeah. But I know my focus. I ask the right questions, and I know what I need to spend my energy and my time on. And then anything else that I'm able to do during that time, great. But those are the most important. Have you got that level of clarity professionally between now and the end of the year? If you haven't, you're going to have to ask yourself key questions. Questions like, why am I doing this task or going to that meeting in the first place? What's the consequence of not doing that, either at all or by a certain deadline, sometimes just completely false, made up deadlines? And indeed, what's the task that's left that's going to make the biggest difference? Focus on that. Those are just 3 really simple questions you can ask to take 101 things down to a small group of 3 things that you need to focus on today. So when it comes to finishing the year professionally strong, what does it mean to you? See, for some of you, it's, because I get it, right? We're going into the last quarter, there's pressure on numbers, right? And ending the year strong number-wise, right? So I know there's pressure there. I know there's pressure with projects, and people either want them completed or they want them at a certain stage by the end of the year. We've got things like your annual computer-based training that you got to get done. We've got performance management. You're trying to get all your evidence together for you. Plus, if you've got a team, then you're managing that as well and making sure that they're doing their bit. Of course, we've got contractors who work in businesses who will finish earlier than everybody else at Christmas, because usually the company just stops their contract early. So you've got to make sure that anything you want from them, you've got to get that done early, right? It's no good waiting until the second week of December because they might not be around. So there's a lot going on, and I get it. So when it comes to finishing strong, what does it mean for you? Does it mean feeling a little bit more in control of your work and your time? And again, narrowing down what you need to really, really focus on and get done. Is that what you want to do? And of course, getting more in control of your time and your workload means you're then able or feel more comfortable leaving work a little earlier, which then brings all those benefits that we just talked about personally with your family. So what does it mean to you? And this isn't about, don't wait until January for some New Year's resolution, right? Because that ain't going to work. What you want to do is you want to start making the progress now. Because like I said, Christmas is coming. And a big part of this, the big reason why people miss out, they feel stressed, they feel overwhelmed, they feel exhausted, is because they're just working themselves into the ground up to Christmas. They think that Christmas is the destination just to kind of claw their way to. Well, it's not. It's a season to be enjoyed with your family. And so if you can get in more control right now, it sets you up to have a great December. You can make a bigger difference at work in less hours if you know how. So for all of this, for all of this, use the first 3 steps that I've taught over in September and in October. My 7 steps to improving anything in your life. Use the first 3 steps over half term. Get really honest about where you're at. Honest about where things are with your family. Get honest about where things are with work, right? Honest. Be honest with yourself about this stuff. Then get clear about the outcome that you're looking for. So those improvements, those changes, those small shifts you want to make, what's the outcome of that? What's that going to mean? And why? And then thirdly, why do you want it? Why is it a must? Not it would be nice if. Why is it a must that you put some of these things in place? And to help, fast forward yourself to the 31st of December. So it's New Year's Eve. You're celebrating with family, with friends, or maybe it's a quiet one on the couch, whatever it is. But you're now reflecting back on the last few weeks, and you've gone, you're really proud. You're really proud that you made a decision this half term to do some stuff differently. Small stuff. But over the course of the weeks, it's led to you feeling better about yourself, feeling better about being there with family, better balance. You feel calmer, you feel more in control, you feel more confident. You had a better Christmas as a result. You got great results from work as a result. You got the stuff that was really required done. You didn't get distracted by all the other stuff. There you are on New Year's Eve, and you're celebrating that. You're celebrating a great year, but you're celebrating that change you made quite late in the year and all the benefit that that's had. And you're glad you did it. And you're looking forward to continuing that through 2024 because you know that the more you do this, the better it's going to be. You've become a more valuable asset in your company because you're more in control, more confident, more calm. You're getting more done in less hours. You're making a big difference. Well, that's kind of what we're there in terms of work to do. But you've also got that beautiful balance with your family. You're spending that quality time with them. Step into that future version of yourself. Get excited about that. Feel it. Don't just think about it. And then think of what are the things that would make that possible? What are the small changes that you can make right now? And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like you do this every single day. And like if you just make these shifts and they worked and you put them into place 2 or 3 times a week, it could really, really make a difference. And I know that because I've done it. I've done it with clients. And so to bring all this together, if you've done those first 3 steps, then do step 4. I recommend step 4, get help. Everything I have just talked about, everything I've just talked about is what I help my clients with. It's what I do. And I do it from lived experience of this, of getting it so drastically wrong and then figuring out how do you turn that around and then how do you do it right? How do you get the balance? How do you make the biggest difference? How do you focus when there's an endless number of things that we could spend our time on, both at work and at home? How do we focus on the stuff that really matters? This is what I do. So just drop me a message. Say, hey, Martin, I saw your video. You're right. I want to make some changes. I want to be that person on New Year's Eve celebrating the shifts that I've made and looking forward to 2024. Can we have a call? Can we get together and just talk it through? That's it. Just drop me a message. And in fact, what I'll do, if you're the kind of person, right, I want to get it in the diary. You're right, Martin. I want to call. I'm going to give you the link. I'm going to put the link in the post to my diary, direct link to my diary so you can book a call with me. And there's a little form on there that you can tell me what's going on and what you want to focus on. Then we'll have a call. And what I will say is I've just been looking at my diary and yeah, okay, we are, just under 2.5 months away from the end of the year. But when it comes to one-on-one calls, I've actually only got now 10 days between now and the end of the year where I have space in my diary to take one-on-one calls. And on those 10 days, those spaces are limited. They're Wednesdays and Thursdays, but the space tends to be the early afternoon, and then you might get a couple of later sessions in the afternoon. But there are only 10 days where you can have that call with me. So I would really highly recommend you give this some thought. Be deliberate, be intentional. If you don't make that decision, you will go back to all the old habits and all the old routines that you've probably been doing already. Not everybody that's made those shifts and make those changes and you're celebrating them in the comments. Not you. Carry that stuff on. Keep doing that. But if you want to make those changes, do those 3, get honest, get clear, get passionate. And then, hey, I'm right here for you to get help on all of this stuff. And it really is possible to shift things around by the end of the year. It is amazing the small things that you can do that make massive difference. And yet it takes a bit of confidence, it takes a bit of courage, it takes a little bit of knowledge in terms of what to do and how to do it. But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to help you. So, congratulations. Well done. Welcome to October half term. You made it. If you made some shifts and you're reaping those benefits, shout about them in the comments. Go and be that inspiration for all the other parents out there. I mean, I could talk about this till I'm blue in the face, but it's nice having other people to say, hey, I did this. Do you know what? I left work half an hour earlier and here's the benefit I got. Take stock. well done, you made it. And if you want to make some shifts, if you can see a better version of yourself on New Year's Eve, then hey, reach out and let's work on making that a reality. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again. Have a great half term with your family. Thanks again.